Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. You're here in the Java Cafe. We are here this morning as sort of a follow-up to a session we had with Marvin, and I'm trying to remember the young woman's name that came on with him from Tech Goes Home. And they were talking about digital equity, and they are a nonprofit advocacy group here in the state of Massachusetts. And today we are honored to have sort of on the other end a corporate institution that is just as concerned and wants to let community know what it is that they're doing, not only to address the possibility of this equitable opportunity for Congress to demonstrate its commitment to keeping people connected and being able to talk to their doctors and dial in for work for those that work at home and things like that. We're honored today to have Comcast with us today. And so do me a favor, hit that share button and invite others into this conversation, because after the month of May, we're not exactly sure what's going to go on with those that have come to rely on this subsidy and this support from the federal government. And so without further ado, I would like to present to some and introduce to others, Becca Fracassa. I got it right.
Got it.
I got it. Becca, welcome to the Java Cafe this morning. I'm so appreciative of you being here. I definitely wanted to be intentional around highlighting sort of the correlation between what Marvin Vinay came on and talked about from Tech Goes Home, as well as what you all are doing. I would say kind of at the other level, you know what I mean? And so I appreciate, one, your personal commitment to this, but two, introduce yourself in your role there at Comcast. And let us know, why we're here today and why and what we need to let the community know that Comcast is making available.
Sure. So my name is Becca Fracassa. I oversee community impact at Comcast in the greater Boston area. I've been excited to have been doing this work for over 22 years. When we think about what we're doing in this area, and as we get to this point where we're seeing the Affordable Connectivity Program go away, I think we need to remember that there are organizations out there like ourselves that have been working on this for a number of years, right? More than a decade ago, Comcast set out to close the digital divide. And we did that with a program called Internet Essentials.
Yes. Yep.
It is an offering, but it is more than that. So you brought up Marvin and Caitlin, and they have been fantastic partners for all of that time. As we have envisioned this network of community partners and programs that empower neighborhoods with tools to thrive in a digital economy, broadband access to a computer and digital skills training. Our program, which is Internet Essentials, has been providing affordable home internet for qualifying households, as well as low-cost computers, free Wi-Fi hotspots, and connections to free internet training since 2011. So over 10 years, it's not going anywhere. Internet Essentials is here to stay.
So despite what's going on at the federal level, it doesn't impact what Comcast has already decided to do. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm hearing from you that you said 10 years and different things. So Comcast has been working on this for a while.
We have. So since we've launched Internet Essentials in 2011, we've connected over 620,000 Massachusetts residents to the program. And it's been important to us. Yes, the Affordable Connectivity Program has been important too, in terms of being able to bring us to that place that is free. And we continue to advocate for the continuation of that program. But in the meantime, for families that need it, we've got the bag, right? We're here. We're going to support you. Internet Essentials is going to be here at that $10 option for them.
Did you say we got the bag?
We've got your bag.
Oh, back. I thought you said we got the bag. I was going to say.
No.
I mean, that's not a bad thing to have the bag, because some people, let's keep it 100. Some people need reliable internet and service to get their bag, which is their work. And so, are you also, my mom, I think at one point or still does have the Xfinity Mobile. Is there any sort of thing with that as well that's going on? Because people need that connectivity, in case of emergencies. And I'm sure there's some sort of plan there as well. And so are you moving in that digital equity space in the mobile space as well?
Sure. So we have a mobile option. As you said, your mom has mobile. For folks who are currently engaged in ACP and qualify for it, that we have 2 levels of Internet Essentials, and Internet Essentials and an Internet Essentials Plus. Those who are getting Internet Essentials Plus can qualify for a free year of mobile service, Xfinity mobile service, to add to that program. So it's there for them to utilize as they need it. And Xfinity Mobile on its own is $25 a line for unlimited services.
Okay. It's so interesting that, and if you don't mind, you said you've been doing this for 22 years.
Yeah.
From your perspective, we're going to go a little off cuff here. From your perspective, how have you seen the sort of digital equity space sort of fluctuate? During the pandemic, I think there was more openness because we just really had no choice. And so with that, we discovered that we can get people free computers. We discovered that, we can do all of this. And so from your perspective, where have we been? Where are we? And from your perspective, where are we going in reference to digital equity? You said 22 years. That you've seen some things.
I've seen some things. So it's really interesting. I think when we started doing this work, we talked about that wireline internet connection is so important in homes. And for so many families, it was this discussion of, right, I need mobile service and that's more important. And now there's an understanding that everything you need, it needs to come holistically, right? And we need to be able to provide that. And we have that with our product options, right? Anybody who has an Internet Essentials connection qualifies to purchase Xfinity mobile products. Whether or not you qualify for a year of free mobile service, our Xfinity mobile services are there and available. I think conceptually, as we're building partnerships, there's just so much more attention, both from a federal level and from a partnership level on the impact that digital equity has on all other social issues, right? So when you think about digital equity as a social determinant of health.
Let's go. Yep. Come on.
Yep. Yep. So I know, right? I know, Jimmy, that you care about that. And there's so many conversations that we've had. I've worked in conjunction with Boston Medical Centers. They're working through their Thrive program to connect folks to services. We've had conversations with hospital programs throughout the state and community health centers. I've had a couple conversations at this point with East Boston Community Health Centers as well, and figuring out how we can work on it. And they're all trying to focus in that space. They know now that, especially through the pandemic, that's important, right? That work has come into that space. Folks need it, yes, for telehealth. That's absolutely important, but to manage your basic healthcare needs as well.
Ordering medicine.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's definitively more attention to the issue of digital equity across the board as a social need than there was, I would say, 15 years ago, where we were sort of digital equity. It's important for education. It's important for folks to connect to each other. There's so much more to it than that these days.
Mm-hmm. It is. I really wanted to hear your perspective, and it's so interesting and ironic that on the other side, we don't have this sort of observation from the federal government or from Congress that they're going to fund this. And one of the things that I mentioned early on is that we're at risk at the end of this month for that to go away. The ACP, I believe, program.
Yes.
to go away. And so Comcast is basically serving as a safety net to some extent, if it does.
Well, we're here. I mean, we've been doing this digital equity alert for a long time. Committed to providing options and to doing the boots on the ground work to work with organizations like Tech Goes Home,
Yep.
like the Timothy Smith Network, like Boston Medical Centers. We're connected to Boston Centers for Youth and Families as well. There's a phenomenal smaller organization embedded within the school systems called OneBead that is also doing this work with some of their learners too, in terms of making sure people have access to digital equity in order to manage all of these things that are so exceptionally important in their lives.
I am going to bring up the website. You can go ahead. I'm going to bring up the website and put that in the, this is the Now program.
The Now program,
yes.
Absolutely. So Internet Essentials is available for folks that qualify. As we launch into this new and exciting space that we're calling Now, it is a series of options for folks that you don't have to qualify for. You can purchase outright online. So the Now products are available for folks, which is a mobile option and an internet option that we launched earlier this month at $30 a month is where Now Internet starts for 100 megabits per second. And now mobile plans with unlimited 5G and Wi-Fi hotspot data start at $25 a month. And what I love about Now, there's no credit check, there's no social security check, there's no need to verify income, all of these things, or participation in a benefit program. It is really sort of this prepaid option that's there and available online and through our retail outlets for anyone.
So that's similar to some of the healthcare combos. Sometimes you're eligible for the free, but then if you're over just a little bit, you can purchase at your decision. And so in the background, we're trying to get there is a connection to the Internet Essentials a web link, but it's extremely long. So I'm in the background with Mark trying to figure out how we can get a shorter link, or if I can type it in. The one that I have here is it's just long. So I'm trying to find a quick one, but if you go to, I guess maybe the general Xfinity, hold on.
If you go to Xfinity.com.
Oh, there it is. I found the short one.
Yeah.
I found the short one. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put that, actually hyperlink it in the comments for folks to have that information. And again, the difference is the Internet Essentials is the free program.
Well, Internet Essentials starts at $9.95 a month. Unfortunately, we can't do free. No.
Gotcha.
I would love to say that, but no.
Okay.
$9.95 a month at 50 megabits per second, or $29.95 a month at 100 megabits per second. And then it's an income qualifying program.
And that's the difference. And now what I'm getting ready to put in is the other link. And if you could explain the difference of that one.
Sure. So you don't have to income qualify for Now. You don't have to prove that you're qualified for a federal benefit program. You don't have to provide a social security number. Now is accessible through retail and online.
Through retail and online.
Yes. So at any of the Xfinity stores. Okay.
So last question for you. If this goes away, do you in real time question, broadband and capacity is interesting for a lot of folks. If this goes away, how does this impact your capacity and ability for folks to still have reliable service? Because we hope that Congress will still continue this program, but even if not, and you've been doing this for years, I keep naming that, but I would suspect that if it does go away, you're going to have a lot more income qualified people going toward essentials. How are you all set, ready to handle that and the intake and things like that?
So we are here for our customers online, on the phone, via chat, in our retail outlets. Anybody that is engaged in ACP, it can switch any service that they have to Internet Essentials if they would like. Okay,
so they can transition. Let's say the end of the month we find out. They just call. And can you give me the number real quick? I'm putting the connection, but is there a number real quick that folks can call?
1-855 Internet.
1-855 55 INTERNET.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And of course, it's more letters, but it gets you there.
Okay. And I got it right? 1855 internet.
You got it.
Okay. So this is the number, folks, that you can call. Even if, if you have internet service now and you're not on ACP and you want to get the essentials, and if it works for you, we have a few elders that are part of the audience. And I know that sometimes with fixed income, they can qualify for this as well. And then also in the comments, folks, is the internet connection, the hyperlink to the internet essentials, and then that is the one that you have to income qualify, and then the purchased one is the Now program, and you don't have to give your social or whatever. You're purchasing a service. And so that is the difference between the two. And Comcast has been doing this, but is also prepared that if ACP goes away, they will be glad to have you come on and get the essentials or the Now service.
Absolutely.
Okay. And is there anything else? Because you all are doing a lot more than this. I'm aware of some other community impact thing. Any other announcements or things you make us aware of?
So I honestly, and I, before when I knew I was going to do this, I noticed that you've been doing some work at the studio at the Boston Public Library. So we're working on something with Boston Public Library coming up soon. So very excited to be in that space.
Gotcha.
We have, in the middle of the pandemic, Comcast launched something interesting called Lift Zones that I would love for everyone to know about.
You said Lift Zone.
Lift, L-I-F-T.
Yep.
Lift Zones. So Lift Zones offer high-speed internet connections in community spaces for folks that may not be able to access an Internet Essentials program or wireline internet at home.
Okay.
So if that's something that you can't access and you need to be somewhere else, the Lift Zone is there for you. We have Lift Zones in almost all BCYF centers, except for those that may be under construction. So any Boston Community Center has a Lift Zone in it. Where folks can go in and access the internet and high-speed, high-quality internet free of charge. So just go in and be able to access that service for you. We've located it there and in 77 locations in total throughout the Commonwealth.
So, so was this in place before? Because you remember there were stories of a lot of people needing to pull up to McDonald's and pull up to, was this in place before the pandemic? And you did reference that you found out in the pandemic. And so
this was a pandemic response program, but you know what? It's not going anywhere. What we've found within the, as we transitioned out of the pandemic space, of course, originally in the pandemic space, one of the key concerns in many of these community centers, and we've launched them in Boys and Girls Clubs as well, was all of a sudden these became auxiliary learning spaces because kids needed to be online learning in different spaces than the school environment so that we could handle the pandemic issues. What we're learning is they have exceptional value regardless. And as we integrate those, we're able to build on work that our digital navigation partners are doing. The Tech Goes Home, the Timothy Smith Networks, the Boston Medical Center work that's happening across the Commonwealth, and really sort of be able to provide them with this broadband platform on which they can do the work for their communities, whether they're providing innovative programming for their teens, whether they're doing classes for seniors to get online. We have one organization on Cape Cod that's doing senior workforce development in their space, which is phenomenal, right? Just all of that amazing work. Central Boston Elder Services is doing digital navigation work as well. And the work that's happening out of that space is phenomenal in terms of connecting their elders to Internet Essentials programs and making sure they have basic digital literacy skills. And then skills that prepare them for the workforce. So those basic skills that get them ready for the workforce as well. I would suggest to anyone, if you have the chance, to try to see a graduation of a Central Boston Elder Services digital equity course. It's phenomenal.
So I take it you've been.
I have been. And Royal Bowling and the work that he does there is absolutely amazing.
what again, I mentioned my average, I have a average age of, I think it's 35 to 54. And
Yeah.
so we have some and above, we have some
Yep.
seniors that are above that. And so it really means a lot to hear you say that there's that intentionality, because I even down to when they comment sometimes on the platform, unfortunately, there's somebody will spam and they'll say,
Right.
contact this person, whatever. And so I go in and delete and block the person because I don't want one of my seniors to
Yeah.
click the link and then they get hacked and all that other stuff, and especially my mom.
Mhm.
And so it's definitely great to have that, in person, and maybe, and this is coming up in real time, maybe there's a way to get that online, so they can learn and they can flip through their, own, learn at their own pace. You know what I mean? For some seniors as well. So Becca, I mean, I knew about some things in Comcast. I'm older, so I remember, and if you said you're going back 22 years. Let's go all the way back from Cablevision to all the iterations. So I remember, and so I thank you for being here with us today,
Mhm.
because when I saw that you were coming and what we were talking about, I immediately went to sort of this backup again of what Marvin and them was saying, that
Yeah.
digital equity, um, from the congressional standpoint, as far as the budget is at risk, Comcast was doing this beforehand, and now they'll be prepared in case folks. We hope for the
Yeah.
best, but in case folks have to do that essentials piece, and if you don't want to do the essentials and you can afford, you also have the now option as well. And so,
Yes.
Becca, before we go, I want to make sure that we go over the links so folks know where
Sure.
the resources are. And so this one is for the Internet Essentials is hyperlinked. So you can go right in the comments, and this is a safe link. You can click that link. And then if you would like to look at purchasing services from Comcast, you can go to, we're saying Comcast, but obviously we see the link is Xfinity, they're one and the same.
Mhm.
And also, the next link is for you to go to the lift zones to find out where the lifts there we go, to find out where the lift zones are, in case you have to utilize those, or send your nieces, nephews, or someone over there. And that's in collaboration with the BCYF Center, specifically here in Boston and other spaces throughout Massachusetts, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And overall, if you don't want to click a link, the other thing that you can do is also call, where did it go? This number here, 1-855 Internet, 1-855 Internet. And yes, we got there's another link we want to share too, as far as the Mark is giving me some links here in the background.
Mark is giving you all some background in the work that I do every day in community partnerships. So if you want to learn about Project Up and some of the partnerships that we're working on, it's there for you too.
Okay, so we got that right there. So you can also find out what else Comcast is doing in the community as well. From like Project Up is one of them. So don't forget, folks. The main thing to remember is the phone number, 1-855 Internet, and also, as you know, these broadcasts stay up, and you can go back to the comments even if you don't do it now, and just scroll through the comments, and you can get all four of the links: the one for essentials, the one for now, the one to find out where the lift zones are, and also to find out what else Comcast is doing, like Project Up. Did we cover everything, Becca?
I think we've got a lot there, but if you ever want to talk some more, I'm here for you, Jimmy.
Okay. I definitely appreciate it. And Mark will let us know, as well. And so thank you for spending time with us this morning. And especially it stands out to me around, what you do for our seniors to make sure that they get that education, and, maybe pitch that idea to get it, throw it up on a YouTube or some sort of platform where the seniors can go through and click. Because I know a lot of them in here, they wouldn't necessarily go to a class, but they would
Mhm.
attend one virtually.
Okay.
So that a virtual option might be, for the seniors as well. So that way they can utilize their essentials and their now and all that other stuff.
You got it.
All right, Becca, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go pay some bills, and I will talk with you soon.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. It was a
All right,
pleasure.
thank you. So, folks, don't forget, you can go and look up the information that Becca has shared with us this morning via going into the comments and looking at the links, and also calling 1-855 Internet to get more information from Xfinity/Comcast. And so we were glad to have her here. This is sort of UCB folks are not going to be happy. Y'all are about to get your hour. It's 9:29. That's really it for us this morning. And tomorrow we get to speak to folks. You know, there's a lot of equity going on in the Java Cafe this week. And so tomorrow we get to speak to folks that are working on equity in the space of housing, affordable housing. And some people will say, well, affordable for whom? And so they're coming in. I believe that is Maria and also Mark Martinez, who has been with us before. He does all type of advocacy. So he's going to be with us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And then on Thursday, don't forget, we have the opportunity to speak to Mission Grammar School about their work they're doing. I just sat here and really realized Tuesday, digital equity, tomorrow, housing equity, and Thursday, education equity. Yesterday was mental health equity as we were addressing anxiety. So this is equity week. I'm just making that up in real time. All right, folks, that's it for me this morning. I think I covered everything. Tomorrow, few dates I want folks to be ready to save is June 21st and June 22nd. Save those days. Not so much our Mother's Board and seniors, because there's a lot of just logistics going on. We got a couple of waterfront events going on, but also Forever Black Boy over on Instagram. Good to see you in the room, brother. Appreciate you. But folks, save June 21st and 22nd. Waterfront Coalition events are happening. And what else? I think that is it. Also, keep in mind, more than likely, we're taking some sort of iteration of a break. June 1st, I need to take some downtime. And speaking of downtime, we're kind of on Everybody Got to Eat is over online on Instagram. Good to see you in the room, brother. Thank you for supplying the food on Saturday. First week in June, some programming changes. And I think that is it for me today. So UCB, you all go ahead and you get your hour today. It is 9:31. Little quick check of the comments real quick. Sharon said housing equity. What is that? Explain. Do more talking. No, don't try it. It's not happening. Okay. And Mama Java, I call to see if you can get us. Okay, y'all having your own conversations in here. Okay, we will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Have a great day, everybody. Tomorrow morning, Wednesday at 9 a.m., we will continue the equity conversation and talk about housing equity. Outside of that, have a great day. Take care of yourselves, and we shall talk to you soon. Peace, everybody.